Okay, everybody, we are ready. Battlefield of Eternity. The Hardos against Go Next, our first match today. And you might have already realized that the teams are actually swapped on the overlay. That's pretty much because the admins are apparently testing me and are not having the teams positioned according to the bracket, so we fixed that. We are in the semifinal. This is a best of 5 series, and it is the last qualifier for the Masters Clash. Now, I went over the system in the past already quite a lot, but if this is the first video, the first match that you actually tune in, here's a quick reminder. We have 4 open qualifiers where everyone can participate. Doesn't matter if you have a team of bronze 5 friends that you want to play with in a tournament, you can participate here. Teams that win one of the 4 qualifiers qualify for the Masters Clash directly. The other teams that participate in one of the open qualifiers that couldn't win the tournament, they still gather points depending on how far in the tournament they're able to go. So if you're hitting the quarterfinal, you get more points than someone that reached the round of 16. If you hit the semifinal, you get more points than someone that reached the quarterfinal, and so on and so forth. Based on that, we got a ranking, and teams that after the 4 qualifiers haven't been able to qualify for the main event yet will participate in the last chance qualifier. That last chance qualifier is taking place next week. Right now, this is the final, the 4th qualifier, the open qualifier. We have already 3 teams that qualified. That is 30K, Chili Mountain, and the Donuts. The Hardos, they haven't been able to make it yet. And now this is the final opportunity for them to qualify directly and not having to go through the last chance qualifier. So they're gonna try and do whatever they can to make that happen. Now, they have a pretty good shot here because they are the favorite to at least end in the grand final when it comes to the match against Go Next here. And of course, their biggest competition in this tournament is probably Team Soundless right now, who are playing in the 2nd semifinal. Now, this could be pretty interesting. We have a couple teams that decided to not participate in the 4th qualifier. We'll see them in the last chance qualifier though. Some just didn't have time this weekend. But now we got bans on Medivh, and also Maiev gets banned, which is kind of an interesting touch here. But as you can tell right now, with Hanzo and Nuborak already starting this up, we have some damage against the Immortal for Go Next. We also got the Nuborak for heavy engage. And Bad Benny is back on his Varian. If you watched any of these games lately in the 3rd and the 4th qualifier, you know that they've been playing that style with Varian a lot. We got Chromie in for Hazu, we got Yasu now on Ana, and yeah, both of the teams looking for these engage comms. Now, the interesting part is that Stukov is still open. I assume that there's a chance that the Hardos are going to ban him out here, but Stukov would definitely be a nice pick that would pair well with the Nuborak and would also help you to zone people out quite nicely. So that's something that could happen. We got Deathwing banned out against the red team, which is something that they have done quite a few times. But let's see what exactly is getting banned. Is it going to be the Stukov, or are they banning something else out? Because when you're looking towards Blade, Stars, or Galnagulnar, you could still ban the side lane out, for example. You could get rid of another support if that's more a worry that you have. But I would still think that Stukov might be a good ban, and there it is. So Stukov gets banned. Makes perfect sense. He would have fit perfectly well with that composition. Not only do you get the Nuborak engage into a Stukov setup, you have also Hanzo's arrow that can provide that initial stun. But now the big question, of course, what does Go Next do instead? They need still support that can pair well with this. We've seen a lot of Deckard Cain here that would also, to an extent at least, work with them. Could start with the slows here. But Anduin, also nice if you want to pull someone away from Varian. So that's also a really nice setup. If Varian comes in for the engage, if you have Chromie, for example, starting to dip the damage in, you can always, with Anduin, activate the trait and pull the target out and try and save them here. So Galnagulnar he's actually been one of the first Anduin player in the competitive scene in Europe when the hero was initially released. Everybody else just shied away from using him at all, and I think it was Galnagulnar on Battlefield of Eternity who first played it. And we get an Alarak. Okay, Alarak and Rexa. Nice. Aggressive setup and a heavy front line for the Hardos for our first map in the Heroes of the Storm tournament. The Masters Clash qualifier number 4. And Starzerk, let's see what he's gonna log in. This is, of course, all European Heroes of the Storm that you're observing here. Everything played out on the European server. There were a couple of questions about this as well. Yeah, but let's get the party started. We got Battlefield of Eternity. Our final pick is coming in. Starzerk, he locks in Jimmy. Jim Rayner is the hero. And with that, we're heading into the first map of the best of 5 Heroes of the Storm with the Masters Clash, everybody. Let's get things going. Go Next against the Hardos in the semifinal.
Prepare
The Hardos against Go Next, and who fails with overlay number 1 shall fail with overlay number 2. So we gotta flip that over as well. Yeah, that admin really caught me off guard. I don't know what else to say, but well, we fixed the problem already. So on the left side, as you already deduced after our draft, we got Go Next. In this case, the Hardos are actually playing the Hardos. That would be quite the trick, I gotta say. So I haven't really seen any of those games yet, but well, maybe in the future we're gonna have some kind of mirror match that takes it to the extreme. For the time being, it's Go Next on the left with Hanzo and Kelvin, the other way around. Blade on Diva, Starzak on Jimmy, we got Galnagulnar on Anduin, and Death Knight on Anubarak. On the right side of the map, Benny on Varian, we got Chris and Chromie, Yazu on Ana, Nick on Alarak, and Hazu is playing Rexa. So, let's go. We got our Exterminator on level 1 on Jimmy. Got some vision for Chromie, as so often. Our top lane has already been decided too, and interestingly enough, it is Varian that plays the top lane. Misha has the initial stun. Varian doesn't have a whole lot going for him in the early stages, so they have Bad Benny topside. And currently down at the bottom of the map, it's pretty much a 5 versus 4 because Misha counts. Yeah, BLM, Bare Lives Matter, everybody. And don't you forget it. So, already the quest talents are kicking in. I mean, for Hanzo, obviously, it doesn't come as a surprise. Oh, Anduin! Oh, dude. Yeah, what are you doing at the front line, my friend? That's not where you belong. You've always been a bit of a crybaby. You need to go in the back where the big boys can protect you. Anduin gets caught, and that's a really nice catch for the Hardos, so well done. Misha, look at that. Going full watchdog and just sitting there, protecting the play on the camp. Nicely done. Varian in the meantime, Bad Benny is just sitting at the top side, waiting to see if someone makes the rotation, and indeed Starzak is coming in, so that Blade can take the camp. And Hanzo goes down at the bottom of the map. Damn, they're not stopping with those kills, are they now? Yeah, Misha gets eliminated, but that's still a worthy trade right here. They come in, take the hipster down, and now the wall is open. They can take the first tower. They can go for the gate itself. Another play with Alarak. It seems like Nick today is really delivering. Gets body blocked a bit into the tower shots and needs to be careful. But they've dished out a fair amount of damage as well. Nicely done. Towards the top. Another play potentially against Starzak. But there's the taunt. And now they can play with a lot more aggression, again, at least against the top. At the bottom of the map, Anduin. Oh, and he's dead again. Yeah, I don't know, but Blondie is going down a lot today. The Nikata of the Nexus is dead for the second time in a row now. We have topside now with 3 kills to 0. Also an upper hand for the Hardos as they're playing this 2 versus 2 out against Starzak and Blade. And the opening into this best of 5 is looking pretty good for the red heroes of the Storm team. So, yep, there we go. Down at the bottom of the map, Camp is still doing some damage. Talking about camps, both of the teams are of course now eager to set those shamans onto the lane and apply a bit more pressure. Jimmy is again starting to shoot the poor shaman. And here we go, another one eliminated too. Okay, it's party time. First Immortal is up on the map, and let's go everybody. We got 3 kills to 0, nearly a level lead for the Hardos. They're coming in, starting to make the plays for Galnagulnar again. What is happening to you, Anduin? Backline, backline, backline. I don't think you got this yet. Nope. Anduin, again, he wants to impress his daddy and comes to the front line with his sword. He's like, Daddy, are you proud of me? I can finally use my sword. And dies. So yeah, every single time. Third time already. Anduin is just not in a good spot here. Varian, he keeps telling him, and say like, listen son, I already acknowledge that you are just absolutely useless at the front line. Sit in the back a little bit, yell alliance every now and then, you're gonna be fine. But if you're trying to fight at the front with the big boys, and you're really going into those melee battles, you are not gonna have a good time. So this is the 3rd or 4th time now that Anduin goes down, and that is just not a good look. Makes Varian look bad too, so he hates to do it, but he just got it. You gotta kill him. So we go for the halftime show here. They're trying for the next one, and Anduin is dead again. He came, he saw, and he died again. Death Knight pauses the game. Someone is getting a talking to over here. I can already tell you that much. As at this point, it's just a question, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? 4 kills against Anduin already. That is just not a look good. Varian killed his own son. I mean, honestly, I personally believe that in that moment, Varian finally redeemed himself for spawning this monstrosity that is Anduin, and has finally now yeah, just like all the guilt is gone. You know, he was embarrassed before, but now it's fine. He finally got rid of Anduin. By the way, everybody that thinks I hate Anduin, I already said I like the character. I just hate the trailer. So either way, but yeah, that's the real lore. That is the lore. That is the story that Blizzard doesn't want you to know about. That Anduin just hates his own kid. It's not a sexy story. It's not very Disney. So Blizzard is just coming in here and saying like, no, 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 that's totally not what it is. They're lying to you with the lore. Anduin, no, he is not like he's not the proud son of a proud father or something like that. No, that's not really what's happening here. Anyways, but while they're trying to get Anduin back into the game after he just rage quit hard and is now cowering into a corner, crying a little bit, we have, as you can see on the damage output, Chromie with 11,000 over here. We got 8,000 for Hanzo, and yeah, it's time for the objective. I gotta say that initially, at least, we've seen some really good damage against the blue team's Immortal, but soon after that, Go Next came in and crushed the Immortal over here a little bit. So, yeah, there's that. The thing is just that now that the defense is set and that the support is down once more, they don't really have a lot that they can do around this position. I mean, D.Va is now trying to create a little bit of space, and that is definitely going to be working out, so they have to retreat. But this is still a spot where I don't think that they can come in and get the kill. Maybe if Kelvin is able to get a couple of shots connected with the Immortal, they got a chance. The problem, of course, that we are now having for the Hardos is that they have to travel all the way over here to do some damage, and given how quickly Hanzo drops the Immortal HP, this is going to be a bit of an uncomfortable spot. Killing Anduin was a good first step, but I'm not really so sure if they can hold on to the Immortal all that easily, especially since we're not only worried about Kelvin on Hanzo, but the next problem that you have to also consider here is that down here we got Jimmy. Now Jimmy is of course a bit in trouble. I'm not quite sure if Yasuo has a sleep dart ready that he can use here, but if he can, if they're able to connect the sleep dart or anything, maybe Bad Benny could come down here as well. Problem, of course, is that he already used his taunt, so he doesn't currently have the cooldown ready. But if any one of those two can set Chris up for some Chromie damage, then they have a very good chance of actually taking him down. So there's a couple of things that could really happen here. I mean, maybe they're just disengaging and nothing's going on, but there's a chance that Jimmy is going down. But the position in and of itself is still a bit rough. And keep in mind, the explosion actually forces Bad Benny to move away here. So he also has already a good reason to try and see where else he should go from here on out. And Yasuo, as you can see, pings are already there. They're definitely telling him, listen, if you just move a bit farther down, we might have a shot of engaging onto Ando and just charge up on him, and we can take him down too. Either way, it's 6 kills to 0. We nearly got a level lead at this point, and that's just bad news. So it's going to be a little bit tough to come back from this one. Once that the level 7 talent kicks in, and as you can see at the experience, we're nearly there at the next level. And once the next one kicks in, it's going to be also a huge power spike for the team once more. So not really a good look for Go Next, at least in the early game. But it might be that the internet connection issues that they're having apparently are also playing a bit of a role here, so hopefully all of that can be fixed. But clawing their way back into game number 1 is not going to be easy. One way to do that would be by winning the Immortal. If you can't take the team fight, but you at least take the Immortal, that would be quite something. With Hanzo and with Jimmy, they have way better Immortal damage that we have for the Hardos. Because obviously the Hardos, they get more kills, but they don't really have any heroes that excel on the Immortal per se. So what they are trying to do here instead is just winning the team fights, which they have so far, and then take the Immortal on the back of that. So that's pretty much the game plan that they have for now. If that's going to work out in the long run, that's a different question. For that to work, you need to, of course, continuously win those team fights. If you don't, then it's a little bit of a problem. For Go Next, it would be enough to just start to reliably take some of these Immortals and then maybe later on win a team fight. We have already a bit of damage down here at the wall, so the Immortal, if taken by the red team, would travel towards the top side. But yeah, so that's pretty much just the situation that we're in for now. And we're back, everybody. All right, Reyna is down, so Jimmy died as already expected. We had a much longer break than I anticipated, so everybody that watches this on YouTube, you dodged a 15-minute break because there was apparently some family situation unfolding. And no, it was not Varian and Anduin that sorted things out. They are still pretty mad at each other, but apparently Death Knight had some issues. He's back on Anubarak now, as you can see. So I'm not quite sure what exactly happened there, but given the fact that he needed 15 minutes for some family matters, I personally think that what happened during the match is that at some point there was just a scream,
Death Knight, food's ready! But Mom, I'm playing a tournament right now. Food's ready, young man. You eat first, then you can play. But Mom, are you at least winning? Well, we're getting our ass kicked, but then come here and eat food, and then you can come back.
Okay, so that's my personal interpretation of the family matter that just happened. Either way, 7 kills against 0 is not a good look, but Death Knight at least is playing on a full stomach now, and maybe that allows him to make the big plays that his team needs from him. These engages that are necessary to get some kills in. Either way, as it happens, we got the fort at the top lane destroyed. 7 kills to 0 also result in nearly a 1-2 level lead for them. Death Knight, and he makes it out. Oh boy. Yeah, you see, he was a little bit sluggish there, a little bit slow. And you know why? Because he just ate. Of course, he's full of energy for game number 2, but in game number 1, he might feel a little bit sluggish here. Reaction time is a bit, well, on the slow side. So here we go. Okay, 7 kills to 0. 8 to 9 on the levels, and as I already explained during our small break, what we really need now from Go Next is some immortal pressure. I don't really, or win team fights, one of the two, but the composition lends itself a little bit more to getting more immortal pressure in. And I mean, if pressure is something that really motivates these guys, it seems to me that at least Death Knight's family is watching everything that's happening here. So some other suggestions of what actually happened there is that it was not about food, but people were watching. And Daddy was just at some point saying like, son, please stop embarrassing us. Your Anduin already died 4 times. Where's the peel? Where's the peel? You're the main tank, dude. And that is not a good look either. Comes in with a taunt. Oh, the Alara combo and Death Knight. Yeah, he gets away. You see, on an empty stomach, that wouldn't have happened. But thanks to Mom's cooking, he is able to make it out. Awesome. Okay, so we got level 10 in. That's heroic ability is the deadly charges. They're going full on aggression, and boys, I'm sorry, but if you're currently, like, my deep condolences to Death Knight's family, but if they're currently watching this game, this is not really changing anytime soon. I think game number 1 is going to be a rough one, but they can always come back. This is a best of 5 series after all. On the left side, it seems like the blue team is really struggling. They still don't have the level 10. They lost 2 of the forts. It's tricky. Both forts down, so here comes another taunt. They go for Death Knight again. 1 stun, 2 stun, and he crashes into the wall, but he's alive. Alright, so let's go. Second Immortal is on the map. They need the level 10. They really need to fight here, and they're going to try to do exactly that. Damage output, 15k for Chromie. We got 12,000 for Hanzo, but Chromie has the top damage in the game.
Yay!
Shut up. Don't get too excited, dude. It's not like we're whipping them or anything. Hey, I said no whips here. Anyways, 10 to 10 now. We got the level 10 abilities on both sides, and it is party time. Where's that arrow? Where's that follow-up? Where's that light bomb? We need that engaged. They need to make something work, or they are gonna be down a keep if they're a bit unlucky. So off we go. Here come the play for the blue team's Immortal is already down to 50% HP. The free halftime show is something the Hardos didn't want to pass up on. And Chromie is connecting the shots. Chris, the OG Chromie over here, trying to make the plays. And of course the bigger question, will the blue team at any point lock in a kill in this game? That's another one that we have to figure out eventually here. But as it stands, there's a slow poke against the Immortal. Chromie is sitting there. Pew! Pew! Sandblast. Chromie is pretty much budget Gara. Chromie is budget Gara, deals with sand as well, but is not nearly as cool. Jimmy is down, he's eliminated. The Cocoon didn't really help out. That's 8 kills to 0, and it seems that D.Va is also going to have a problem. Blade is trying, and he's dying. Oh boy. 128 sadism right now for Nick. He set up some really good kills for the team. Now they're going for the Immortal, and guys, this one is going to hurt. They even aggro the camp before that happens. We got the Immortal on nearly 100%, and this one is just going to be brutal. Especially now with those, with the camp taken over here. That one is also not really too great. So bot lane is what's getting attacked next, and that lane is already pushed out quite a bit. The catapults at the front, and here comes Nick. At least he's trying to, but Jimmy said, okay, that's a dumb idea. Let's just move away right here, or we're gonna have a little bit of a problem. So Jimmy makes it out, good for him. If he would have moved a little bit deeper, that would have been the end of him for sure. Top camp gets pushed out. There's a level 13 talent. Nick came in. Spray game on point from the back. Here comes the explosion. They're trying for the stun. They can't get it connected. Instead, they're coming in for Death Knight. And Death Knight makes it out. But then we got the kill. Chromie with the connect. Hanzo is down. Oh boy. And that's going to be the end of Ana again, isn't it? Blade is trying to make his way out. But there's already the shifting sands. And that is a huge issue. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. They go for the triple kill. They're trying for a little bit more. The keep can't run. And of course, the top lane gets pressured at the same time. The wall has fallen here too. And the catapult together with the shaman camp is doing even more work. They are wrecking everything. Everything in their grandma. The pull attempt. Gulnagul now with the stave on Starzerk. As Jimmy nearly died again. Death Knight commits Sudoku. Comes in, and the Honorable Subaru as Anduin joins him in death. That's 14 kills to 0. Make it 15. The shields are falling, and the Hardos, they continue the speed run through this tournament that they started in the first round, and they're just not stopping. Can't stop, won't stop. They're coming in and starting to absolutely crush it. GG and well done as the Hardos lock in the 1-0 lead in the best of 5 here at the semifinal of Masters Clash Qualifier number 4.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Okay, game number 2. Tomb of the Spider Queen is the map. Map choice by the Hardos. They are in the lead. It's a 1-0 right here. And let's check it out. Let's see what we're going to get for our second map. Go Next definitely didn't have the best first game. It probably didn't really help whatever happened with Death Knight there. I mean, we've been joking around a little bit about the short break that we had there. But of course, being just like removed from the game for that and then having to figure everything out again is always a bit tricky. As I said from the beginning though, the Hardos, they are the favorite in this series. There's just no denying this. These guys are just on a completely different level when you were talking about success recently, despite the fact that even in qualifier number 4, they still have to play because they weren't able to win one of the tournaments before that. But now on Tomb of the Spider Queen, there's always a chance for Go Next to try and bring it back here. This is still our first semifinal, so we got a Medivh ban. And the other plays that we saw there from Nick were kind of cool too. So we had some really nice setups that led to a lot of kills and allowed them to be pretty aggressive in the early game. Anyways, as it stands, we got Uther banned out, Chromie is eliminated. That oftentimes has already happened in the past, and now that she finally is snuck into a game, you can see why she gets banned. She did a lot of damage from the back line. Chris was never really in any danger of being attacked, pushed on, and taken down, so that's the thing. And let's see what we're gonna get on our next map here. A Brightwing ban too. Now, as far as first picks goes, there's our Stukov. Question, of course, that still remains is if we are seeing the Hardos with Varian again. They've been locking Varian in whenever they got a chance, to an extent where in previous matches Varian was banned. So one of the things that he could definitely do now. Varian would also pair very well with Stukov on the other side, but so would Anubarak. Any kind of hero that sets up a stun for you that Stukov can follow up on is great. Doesn't mean that you need exclusively a hero like that at your front line. Jojo, for example, brings the wave glare that you oftentimes want on this map, so why not go for her? Once that she has the blessed shield, you can also use that to help Stukov out there. Tychus is in, so is Ana, so they got that. And they have a chance to ban Varian out if they really want to get rid of him. On the side lane, there's still a couple of other heroes that we could definitely see here. I mean, honestly, last game we didn't have Cassia, for example. So far, Sonya is also still up. There's our Cassia, there's our Johanna. I like it. Okay, good setup. There's a wave clear already locked in with Jojo and her potential eternal retaliation on level 4. But either way, Cassia comes in as the damage. And now the question is, what do you ban out? Blue team, they could ban Varian. They could ban Anubarak, both heroes that Benny played a lot. If they don't want to focus on the front line, another good hero to ban out would, for example, be Sonya on the side lane. So there are quite a few options. You're not going to be in a position where you can ban out whatever is a potential threat to you, but you can at least ban what you are the most uncomfortable with dealing with right now. So the Maiev ban, again, we've already seen that a little bit earlier. And yep, there's the Varian ban. Gonna get rid of him. Now, that immediately leads me to the question, what is Bad Benny going to play? Are we going to see that Anubarak again that he likes to play when he doesn't get Varian? He's also been playing Arthas a little bit, but I don't really see that happening against the lineup that they're facing off against right now. They played it, I think, exclusive. Did they exclusively play it on towers? Not 100% certain, but they played it on towers a couple of times. And here is May. All right, and Ragnaros again. Second time that Chris plays it in this tournament. So they are starting to look more seriously towards Ragnaros as a side laner pick. Mostly in games where they're already in the lead and they feel that they have the upper hand, but it's definitely something that Chris has been toying with a little bit more and flirting with the old firebug. So something that we might even see against some of the top teams once that we're heading into the main event of the Masters Clash. Let's not forget, this is still the qualifier. Leo comes in and we got Deathwing. And I gotta say, Blade, when it comes to Deathwing at least, the man knows what skin to equip. Which is half the battle. Looking good while dying and killing stuff is half the battle here. So Deathwing with that Jade skin. And Nick on Mephisto. Probably gonna swip things around a little bit. But either way, game number 2 is set up. So ladies and gentlemen, Tomb of the Spider Queen, our second map. The lead for the Hardos. Let's go. Game number 2 in our best of 5 at the Heroes of the Storm tournament here. Let's see which team takes it. Game number 2, Go Next. They have a long way to go here and they can start that journey with a victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Our Heroes of the Storm tournament continues with a semi-final best of 5. On the left side we have Blade on Leoric, Kelvin on Cassia, Starzerk on Deathwing. Galnagulnar is playing Stukov, and we got Death Knight on Johanna in game number 2. On the right side of the map, we got Nick on Tychus, Bad Benny on May, Hazu on Mephisto, Yazu on Anna, and Chris on Ragnaros. Okay, let's go. Let's get the party going over here and see if the Hardos can lock in a 2-0 lead or if Go Next is coming back slowly. As I said, there is definitely the role of a favorite that the Hardos are trying to fulfill here. And so far they've been doing well. The entire tournament has been a speedrun for them. They were pretty annoyed, I suppose, to lose in 3 tournaments and having to play the fourth one in the first place. So now the objective is to at least win here, make sure that they're moving on to the grand final and then lock in the direct spot for the main event of the Masters Clash. If they can do that or not, time will tell, but they have a good chance here. In the next semi-final, we're going to see how Team Solus is going to do against Rage Quit Gaming. And that could be an interesting match too. But of course, also there we have a favorite since Team Solus has been playing some really solid tournaments too. Top side, some pressure already against Hazops, but he makes it out. We see Bad Benny with the attempt to come in from the side, but he couldn't get a flank set up. Now they're trying to make the play for Starzerk. And Deathwing has to, of course, be a bit careful of Tychus as the game continues. That's still the biggest threat to him with the extra damage against the heavy hit point here. But first, Tychus really has to engage towards him, and there's a lot that can already get dangerous for him too, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. But Tychus makes it out. Blast Wave helping out a bit. They're trying to turn it on Blade, who is, by the way, playing Leo at this point. And honestly, that is a little bit disappointing because I was actually highlighting how nice the skin setups from Blade on Deathwing are, but in this case, Starzerk plays him. Now, to his credit, he also locks in a good one. Everything is better than the chicken skin. I mean, that thing is just horrible. I mean, first of all, it makes me hungry, which is never really a good thing. Then I start talking about food again. We're having the pineapple on pizza discussion once more. And yeah, nobody is happy with that. But yeah, it's just good to at least have that set up. Also, talking about pineapple on pizza, I still have to highlight that especially the Americans need to double check tuna pizza. I know it's not a thing in the US, I still don't know why, because you got tuna subs, so believe me, tuna on pizza with onions is absolutely fantastic, and a little bit more there too. Very, very common in Europe, and I was pretty shocked to find out that in the US they pretty much don't have that. So, yep, check that out for yourself. Either way, now that we got Tychus eliminated, that is the first kill in the game. And as it happens, it's Go Next that got the first kill. Yeah, our blue team is coming back. They grow up so fast. So they come in, take the first victim down. Tychus is eliminated. 15 stacks for Cassia. So far, a decent job also on the stacking. And they're looking for kill number 2. This time against Chris. Can they get him? Nope. Ragnaros is making it out. Good for them. But I like the rotation here. None of the teams have really turned in yet. Bit of a gem advantage for the Hardos, but again, as nobody has really delivered any gems yet, it's not really a problem. At the top side, Deathwing was annoyed a bit by Nick, but Galnagulnar is also here to help out and zone him slightly. So there's that. Currently at the bottom of the map, the Siege Giants are being focused on the red team. is, I guess, trying to turn in here. Bad Benny in particular has been starting to move down to the bottom of the map. They're slowing him down as is. And here's the Siege Giant camp. Yeah, as long as you can slow them down, you're going to be in a pretty decent spot. Just making sure that you get those Siege Giants safely, that everybody else can't engage, that you're not forced into a team fight. But here's now the defense being set up by the Hardos. Of course, they have to deal with those Siege Giants now that they're on the lane. We got the bigger they are on level 4 for Tychus. That doesn't come as a shock considering the opponent's lineup. The turn-in attempt with Leo gets thwarted. A couple of the heroes have attempted to turn out topside already, and the blue team hasn't delivered a single gem so far. But on the Hardos side, we have 13 already turned in. Death Knight gets attacked. He's low, and that could be a kill. It is a kill. Down goes Jojo, but at least Blade is ready to secure the gems. But of course, now they have a perfect position to finally get that turn in. If Chris delivers the 20, then they are in a spot where they get the first wave. But nope, the interrupt is there. Blade had to go a bit deep for it, but he's still able to Wraith walk out of harm's way, so good for him. But another turn-in is already happening as Hazops delivers another 7 gems and makes it a bit easier for the rest of the team at the bottom of the map to do their thing. So, alright. What else are we getting here? We got level 7 talents for both of them now. And Hazo is still sitting at the top. There's a bit of a slow happening. Death Knight, careful my friend. Starzerk also just sitting at the side with the angle. He has 21 gems himself, would love to turn them in. At the bottom with 31, Blade is in a very similar position. He's just saying, boys, let me get rid of this so I can finally start activating my trade. But if they can get the kill on Chris, that would be fantastic. But Yasuo is just sitting in a perfect spot here. He gets the pew-pew going. Misses the sleep dart, though. That was supposed to save him here, or keep him safe. But Bad Benny is also anchoring him. So they have a lot of safety layers here with the heroes that they're running. Now, Deathwing at the top. He's still a bit low. Not really a lot of turn-ins happening at this point anymore. It's all about the attempt to get the first Web Weaver wave here. 23,000 damage for Tychus already shows how much the bigger they are really has an impact. But off we go. There we have a little bit more. Yeah, big kick is coming in, or at least hits from Deathwing for the interrupt potential, of course, now too. 28 stacks for Cassia. All the brawling when it happens is great for Cassia. Fight at the bottom of the map, that's a bit of a different story. Deathwing is popping down too, as they are again making a play for Ragnaros, but Chris is keeping them safe. And is keeping those gems safe. And there's the Web Weaver wave. Hazu, the one to turn in. And the first Web Weaver wave is starting to come in. Nice. Alright. So, with that, we got potentially, well, I guess level 10 abilities will drop for both of the teams. I don't think anybody is going to get a big lead here, especially since the blue team is going to have them first. But it's still going to be a fight on eye level, since the level 10 is ready any second now for the Hardos as well. And there we go. We got the Falling Sword that can apply pressure on Ana. Not really the greatest setup for Stukov, of course, but you can apply a lot of pressure when you're jumping on Ana in the backline. Wall is already out, and they're trying to go straight for Cassia, and she's dead. Nice coordination. Yasuo also with the Eye of Horus here. They get the kill. Cassia is gone. 30 stacks on her as she dies. And Death Knight is together with Gal and Gulnano trying to save the mid lane. As on the side lanes, Deathwing and Leo are trying to do the same thing and destroy the Web Weavers. But the Hardos with the push here in the middle are starting to do some solid work. Good job also by Chris earlier with the Sulfuras that he locked in on level 10. No real big surprises when it comes to the heroic abilities. But we still have to keep an eye on Jojo in particular, as she's going to try to make that play for Yasuo whenever there is an opportunity. So that's what they're going to go for. Yeah, well, once again, bit of damage against Starzerk here. Blue team still has plenty of gems. They have pretty much enough gems to turn in twice. Their problem is that the Hardos also still hold enough gems to turn in as well for the second time. So, yeah, it's time to make a play, and they're making it! They're going straight in for Mei. Nicely done with the Entomb, and then the follow-up from Stukov. No chance for Mei to do anything about it, so she gets taken down quickly. Blade with the 49 gems delivers. 49! A bit of a meme there. One more gem and he would have been able to go for the solo turn-in, but it's not happening. But Deathwing is sneaking into the top. He doesn't even need to try and turn in, because we have Stukov already doing all of it. Oh, Durance of Hate! What a beautiful kill against Cassia again. Durance of Hate set up by Mephisto, and then Chris comes in with the Sulfuras, hits the bullseye, and that's 3 kills to 2. Well done. And Cassia eliminated just as the web weavers are touching ground is of course a problem. Yeah, makes it for a much easier defense. There's the wall again. Okay, catching at least Death Knight. Going for Gulnigul now, but he can't get the kill here. Leo is at the bottom of the map, and Ragnaros, die insect, coming in with a play, trying to save the fort here for as long as he can, popping the trade. Cassia's back to business. Ragnaros, can they get a kill? Can they get the Entomb? Ah, no, it's too late. Entomb was set up by Blade, but he's just a second delayed. Maybe a little bit quicker on the draw, and he would have been able to lock Chris in. That would, of course, be the money kill right there. You have 40 gems on Chris. If you can take those away from the Hardos, you're in a great spot. But instead, it turns on Blade, Sulfuras, and that is a kill on Leo. 13 in the hands of the Hardos. They are looking fantastic here. Another attempted play against Chris, but he can move away, tap the fountain, and now re-engage with the rest of the team. Mei isn't here yet, so this is a 4 versus 4. A bit of a push out. But Mei is now starting to come in from the top again, so you gotta be careful. And there's the wall, but it misses. That would have been pretty awesome if they could have connected 1-2 and then followed up on it. Starzerg, Ana is dragon hunting, but is not able to get a kill. Yasuo once again with the Eye of Horus and nearly successful against Deathwing. That would have been quite the snipe. Yeah, can mount Deathwing's head on a wall somewhere. Either way, now also with the auto attack set up for Blade, so Mithril Mace on level 16 is what we're going to get as the follow-up. And we don't have the violent reaction. No, the lingering spines is what we're getting here. Another Entomb, this time they hit. Chris about to go down, but he already turned in all of the gems. Stukov hit by the Jordans of Hate, but he was able to push Mephisto back, so good for him. Yeah, it would have been great if they would have been able to take down Ragnaros before he delivered the gems, but they weren't able to pull that off. Hazu is a bit low, and he still makes it out. Bit of a B-step there too, as he's trying to hearth back. Realized that he wasn't far enough out, so yeah, here comes the turn-in from Mei, and Bad Benny is going to allow the team to lock in another wave. 3 to 4 kills, but a much closer game now on the second map than we saw on Battlefield of Eternity. So this one is definitely a lot better for Go Next. They're still behind, but they're doing a lot better here. So at this point, yeah, Blade is already low. And again, going for the sniper kill. Blade, yes, there it is. That's how you snipe Leoric, everybody. That's a Leo snipe right there. Nicely done. Ana with a pew. And over here, they lock down Jojo. The Iron Skin saves her for a few more seconds, but Death Knight is in trouble. He has to jump out and successfully does so as he escapes. Ana can't follow up on it anymore. Still on cooldown on the ult, but of course it doesn't change the fate of the fort in the middle. The fort is down. The bottom of the map. Seems like we're going to see a very similar outcome here. Maybe not quite, but they're still going to do some damage. Starzerg is barely escaping as Nick was trying to rotate in to take those gems away. But as you can see, this is going to be the end of the fort at the bottom of the map. They're going for Stukov in the middle. Galnigulnar goes down, and there are just kills after kill now coming in. The momentum is swinging. It's crazy. It's getting real crazy. 16 talents are now ready for them, so even more of a setup. And just to give you guys a bit of an idea again, I mean, check out the Ana kill against Leo. So this was the setup initially. Check out Leo here, and then Ana coming in with the Eye of Horus. Ana just delivering so much. Not only the saves that we've seen the entire time, but then also these kills, the kill opportunities that resulted with the kill against Leo that helped so much as they were trying to get good value out of the web weavers. That's a nice catch though. Maybe they can do something here. They're trying to go for Nick and they take him down. That's a lot of gems. Benny is trying to recover some, but they are not able to get all of the gems back. So that's a problem. Ragnaros again with another Sulfura smash against Kelvin. And there's the snipe. Down goes Cassia. She doesn't really have a lot of fun here. They're coming in with a level 16 talent. They want their keep despite the fact that Tychus is down. They lost some of their gems, but of course Go Next did as well. And Go Next, they still have a lot of gems for another turn-in, but they're just suffering one structure loss after another. Death Knight is so low and he's also a bit trapped. He waits for the Iron Skin and makes it out again. It's kind of rough now. There's the Mithril Mace now. At least they're fighting on even talents, so that's a step into the right direction, I suppose. But of course, there's enough gems for Hazo to turn in. 23, hell yeah. 56,000 damage now for Tychus. 32,000 for Cassia. Yeah, rest of the team 14k for Stukov. He has more damage at this point than Deathwing has. And all the forts have been eliminated. And camps are now claimed on the map. So the Hardos are moving in for their bruiser camp to establish more lane pressure. And the turn in potential in the mid lane now. Go Next, 53 gems on Starzerg. Can he make it happen? Yazu, nope, there's the interrupt. Yeah, they're gonna real pay attention to this. But again, another good entomb, and Nick is dead. These entombs of late really allowing the team to follow up, especially Stukov is always there. Well, unless he isn't. Stukov. Geile Gulina and Anna with the big snipes again. What a slaughter. Oh my god. They're going for the big kills here. 3 down on the blue team side after they initially started off with the kill on Tychus and then even got Ragnaros. Now Deathwing has to move out. He has 61 gems, but check this one out. What a team fight again. Oh boy. I mean, at first they go for Stukov and they try to snipe him. They're able to do that, and then of course it's a total disaster as Ragnaros and everybody else is doing tons of damage. Starzerg was trying to turn in the meantime, but he couldn't sneak in. And yeah, it's only 2 gems missing, and then the red team has a chance for their own turn-in. So things are really looking grim for Go Next. And that would be the 2-0 lead in this series, which of course makes matters even worse then. So, yeah, off we go. There's the play attempt. Careful, Starzerg, 61 gems, can he deliver? Blade missing the Entomb. Yeah, that could have been a kill. Instead they're trying with a slow now against Bad Benny. Sets the wall up, doesn't connect anything. Bad Benny is still low, but Yasuo is healing like a madman. Yasuo has been keeping the boys and girls alive throughout the entire game pretty much. The blue team finally able to turn in. Starzerg delivered some of the gems that he was holding, and now they get the Web Weaver wave. Just half a level before the before the level 20 is in for the red team. Yeah, 57,000 heal for Anna. Pew-pewing a little bit more over here. And now the opportunity to maybe push this out. I mean, if you look at the minimap, you really quickly realize that there's not a single fort that has been eliminated yet on the Hardos side. So there's no structural damage that Go Next was really able to do, which makes it really difficult for them to fight in the middle of the map in the first place, simply because they just don't have any fountains there. Whereas the Hardos have a fountain on every single lane. Deathwing is the only one that hasn't died, by the way, successfully dodging out on a lot of the damage that Tychus wanted to deliver with the bigger they are. Level 20 is now ready, that's a problem in and of itself. Immediately after picking his heroic difficulty, we got Chris with his trade again. They're trying to defend here. The rotation down to the bottom, but even here he's able to help out. Of course, now we got Shatter as well. We have Tychus with a big red button, and the blue team is falling back. They have to get the experience for 20. That's a huge gap that they got to bridge. More than an entire level that they have to take here. And yeah, it's tricky. 58 stacks for Cassia. Not great. She's been under a lot of pressure throughout the entire game. Every single time the Hardos are making a play, it seems to focus her in particular. Yeah, choke point situation is happening. They're trying to steal the camp away. They got the level 20 and the blue team is about to take the fight. They're saying, alright, this is the hill we want to die on. And the Hardos are replying, well, we can make that happen, no problem. So out jumps Jojo, barely surviving with 100 HP. Blade. Deathwing is down 2. They get the camp, but they lose Deathwing and they lose Leo. And of course, together with those, they also lose some of the gems. They still hold 74. That's another turn-in that they can get. And talking about turn-ins, the Hardos, they got another 52 gems that they could deliver, and they only need another 23 for the next turn-in here. So, yep, let's go. They go for boss. Yep, and the red web weavers are also descending. So it's a double whammy that they have. 17,000 damage from Stukov. Deathwing has started to pad his stats a little bit, so he's finally been able to sneak into at least 3rd place on the damage output, still trailing behind Cassia and Leo. We got 70,000 now for Tychus. And Anna on 20,000. Yeah, Granny has more damage than Stukov. The Admiral needs to really step it up a little bit. If that is the state of the military today, then I don't know. What a waste of taxes. So the Granny, give Granny a sniper rifle, and that's all that we need here. And the war is won. Okay, so in this case, we have the top side pressure. At the bottom of the map, Web Weavers are pushing in. Leo is busy in the middle, doing his thing. But this is gonna hurt. This is really gonna hurt. I mean, we got boss and we got the Web Weavers with the perfect timing for them. and they have a level 20. Go Next is finally getting their own Storm talent, which gives us, of course, not only the cooldown reduction for Jojo with the Heaven's Fury, but also, more importantly, Buried Alive. What gets buried very quickly is the top keep, and the one in the middle is also about to go down, so that doesn't look too good either. And of course, they're going to make a play for core here. Chris is ready and pops his trade, and this is just bad news for Go Next. I think we can really go next at this point, because there's no way they're going to save this one. Nope, that core is falling. Stukov is down. They're going for Kelvin. That's the end of Cassia. And we have a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. Deathwing is about to go down too. It's a 5-man wipe, baby. A 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series here at the Heroes of the Storm tournament in our semi-final. GG. Well done. Okay, party time. Towers of Doom. We got our third map now, and the Hardos are in the 2-0 lead. Yeah, again, they are continuing what they started in the first round of the tournament, in the round of 16 this time. And of course, then in the quarterfinals, they also just blew their opponents out of the water, and the same trend's continuing here. There's a reason why they are one of the favorites to win the tournament here today. Obviously, it kind of helps that 3 teams are already qualified for the main event, and therefore don't have to play in these qualifiers anymore. They don't have to go up against the Donuts, against Chili Mountain, or against 30k, who previously defeated them. Medivh gets banned once more. We got on towers, of course, the option to go for a little bit of a global setup. We've seen that a bit more as well, but I guess we are initially at least talking about the same bans and picks again. So first and foremost, you're of course thinking about Chromie right now, which is definitely a hero that the Hardos would love to lock in. So that's one of the things that they could do here. And yeah, could play with the Sylvanas, try to snowball a little bit, get those bell towers controlled at the bottom of the map. Ana, they're kind of done with Yasuo. After all of the sniping that has been done in game number 1, they're just absolutely done with that shit. They're looking at Ana and saying like, no thank you. There's the Chromie ban. The Hardos, they don't want to go up against her. They know what kind of a powerhouse she can be. And yep, that brings us to the first pick. We'll see something like Stukov again, or are they deviating away from this and going into, let's say, maybe a damage dealer, for example. There's different ways of how you can play this out. And there's Sonya. Yeah, we haven't seen her in quite a while here. Okay. Well, what are we going to get for the Hardos, though? Hardos had some pretty solid picks throughout. This is another map where they played not only with Varian as a main tag, but they also played Arthas here. Twice, actually. Usually picked late, not really early. It was more so the second or last rotation when they went into Arthas when they picked him. But there's Tychus again. And there is the immediate Brightwing pick. Now that Yasuo can't pick Ana, he goes straight into Brightwing. And I gotta say, there is a chance that Bad Betty goes for Arthas again. It depends a little bit on what damage dealers are being taken by Go Next here. Especially when he was going up against Greyman and some others. They really just like walked them down, put the Frozen Tempest in, and then engaged from the side lane. There's a lot of options on the bot lane in particular where you can come in and flank. And we got an Abathur! Okay, Abathur plus Lucio. Now it's becoming interesting. And immediately the question, can the Hardos exploit the early game of Abathur? Are we, for example, seeing something along the lines of a Sylvanas pick from them, anything that can really just put pressure on, while Abathur doesn't have the ultimate evolution yet to put the copy into play? Now Lucio with a hat can be super annoying, same goes for Sonya, of course. There's good copy potential already. And there's the Muradin ban. Banning out Muradin, don't want to deal with the Dwarf when he has the hat. Gets just too aggressive, can easily be safe there too. Yeah, and we still are waiting for Kelvin and Starzerk. Okay, so having the Slug in is kind of cool. Let's see what they can do with this. Topside. What are we going to get as a counterplay? I mean, again, Abathur can be insanely powerful. You need to be successful in the early stages, but Abathur is just an absolute monster. He's oftentimes banned out, especially in Cursed Hollow. We've seen him banned on Sky, we've seen him banned on Towers. In this case, you have a very strong Sonya play. The top lane, the one-on-one, is never really a 1-versus-1 setup because Abathur can always come in disrespected and give you an advantage. We've seen Viking plays on this map in the past. Just in this tournament even. Team Soundless. Hydra was talking about it the other day where he said, I'm never going to play Vikings again because it gets banned out the entire time. And there they are. Vikings. Told you. There we go. Varian is picked. We got the Lost Vikings together with that. So you can try to apply that pressure, soak 2 lanes, hunt Abby a bit, and then have the 4-man going ham. With other teams, heroes that could also be chosen here is, for example, Zarya, depending on who's playing. A Zarya pick going up against something like what we're seeing from the blue team can really work. You're establishing a very strong 4-man and then try to burn that down, so there's a chance of that happening. Cassia comes in, and Tyrael at the front line. Alright, playing around the Sanctification here. What are we going to see as the last pick then again? What are they going to go for now? Towers of Doom. And, well, we could go for... honestly, they could go for it. But, yeah, last pick is coming in. We got the Vikings already set up. Hazu is very likely going to swap over once they're going for that. But it is time to party. They want the 3-0. Can they get it? That's the question. Last pick is Sergeant Hammer. They're sieging up. They're sieging up hard. There it is. Abathur gets picked. The Vikings as a bit of a counter. Sergeant Hammer together with it. They're going to set up a strong 4-man to push the structures down while the Vikings are simultaneously soaking the lanes. Let's find out if it's going to work. Game time! Go next against the Hardos. Our Heroes of the Storm best of 5 goes into the 3rd map. It's Towers of Doom. We got Galnagulna on Lucio. On the left side, we got Death Knight playing Abathur, Kelvin on Cassia, Starzerk on Sonya. And Blade is playing Tyrael. They went for the Abathur setup, they didn't ban out the Vikings, and now Hazops is playing a hero that is very well known for. We have on the right side of the map Bad Benny in red on Varian. Hazu is playing the Lost Vikings. We got Chris on Sergeant Hammer, Nick on Tychus, and Brightwing gets played by Yazu. Okay, let's go. Level 1, we already have the Spy games coming in. We also got the Maelstrom rounds here. And, yep, let's see what they can pull off with this one. We have them very likely sieging up early. Once that they establish position, the Vikings are just going to try and soak, ideally occupying 2 heroes. And that is the game plan. Cassia is going to try and keep stacking. Of course, with Abathur, as already mentioned a little bit earlier, it's going to be very difficult to control the early game since you don't have the ultimate evolution. You don't really have a setup that works too well with that. Now, we'll see if that's going to be working for them, but Chris is already in position and is starting to take that mid-wall out. Yeah, the Vikings are busy, even stopping a bit of the rotation there. Hazu goes down. So nice job by Starzerk to go for at least some of the Viking hunting. Olaf has been eliminated too, by the way. So 2 of the Vikings are down. Hazu a little bit rusty maybe on the Vikings. Has been some time since he played the Vikings in the setup. But either way, they're making a play for the bottom of the map. Blade is jumping out, using the mobility on Tyrael to get out of harm's way. And I gotta say, the one thing that really works for them is the stacking on Cassia. I mean, damn son, we're a minute and 10 seconds in and he's at 15 stacks. Not shabby. Kelvin with much better stacking in this game already than in the last one. I mean, honestly, if you could keep that pace, you would end up with like 200 stacks on her easy peasy. Can you imagine the damage output? Now, of course, that's not going to continue at the same pace, but still, that's at least a solid early game that we're seeing from Kelvin here, so good for him. Now, they're starting to chase Sonya a little bit, but as I said earlier, if you have an Abathur on your side, then that hat is quite helpful. So Hazu is trying to also slow rotations down with the Vikings. He has a hero at each lane for the experience. But they are still starting to do a bit of work down here. And yeah, with 20 stacks on Cassia, that is not bad. If they can use that for early stacking, that would be kind of cool. You can use the blind against Sergeant Hammer, of course, as well. But it's not going to be an easy game one way or another. I mean, that's obvious. So full-on slam build. We got the bigger they are. Siege tactics, taunt is in. That's of course where the real trouble starts once the Varian has the opportunity to just lock you down. And there's the siege up. As I mentioned during the draft already, they're gonna have the Vikings control 2 of the lanes, and then they're gonna come in and try to siege up on one single lane and do the damage. And that's where Brightwing comes into play. That's where we're having Chris with Sergeant Hammer just do the work. They're repositioning again, and everybody else is just Viking hunting. But yeah, even the potential damage and kill against Lucio as he falls. This is the setup. Vikings on 2 lanes, 4-man that pushes a lane, and that's what they're doing here. Now, they got the leading experience already. The altars are activating soon too, and that's where the Vikings, of course, can even be more annoying and just like stall it out a little bit. But this is gonna be difficult to deal with. Kelvin, again, his stacking is out of this world. 32 stacks. Hammer makes it, of course, easy. But top side, there's the channel now happening. Top left, top right. They're going for Blade already, and even Abathur helping out is making things difficult for them. Kelvin is still continuing to get those Lightning Furies out. Up at the top, one of the Vikings is going to go down. Zarya gets the channel, but it doesn't change the fact that we have a 2 versus 3 auto situation in favor of the Hardos. And of course, with Sergeant Hammer just sieging at the bottom of the map, this is the result. Olaf goes down. We're going to see more Vikings die for sure. But either way, as Kelvin comes in with one hit after another, the bell tower at the bottom is going to go down. Now, the saving grace for Go Next is going to be the level 10 when they have the ultimate evolution, and I suppose that also Cassia stacking good into the late game, if they make it to that, could really be a bit of a factor in the equation that is helping Go Next out. But right now, they are, of course, struggling to hold control. That was never in question until the level 10 hits for Abathur. You're always going to experience that here, especially against the setup that they are facing off against. They're trying to go for some counter pressure in the middle of the map. Yeah, go for the Vikings again, slowly get some of those kills in, but the bot lane has been converted, the bell tower has been taken. Sonya not making a choice yet on her level 7. Everything else is already in. And, well, there we go. Coming in with a battle rage at this point. So trying to go for the extra mercenary damage, which allows them to get this a little bit easier. So, well, let's see. Bot lane is a problem. It's going to be difficult to retake this, and we have now pumpkins connecting, 3 of them, so all are in. The problem is, how do you move in and retake? I guess you have to wait for your level 10. Before that happens, they have a really tough time pushing into Sergeant Hammer. Later on, they can try and set maybe a flanker, but for now, I don't think it's an option. Would have been nice if they could have held on to this one a bit longer for Abathur to get his level 7 and drop the mule on it, but that didn't work. And Kelvin gets pushed very aggressively to the back. Chris now has his own mobility thanks to his level 7 with the hover siege mode, and as you can see, he is just completely controlling the space. Now, they're trying to set something up at least for the middle where the next altar is spawning, but with the Vikings already controlling the area, it's rough. There's still experience soaked in the middle and the top lane, so that is just exaggerating the problem with the experience lead that the Hardos hold. Yeah, still Cassia stacking. But with all the stacking that is being done here, I still don't think it's going to be enough to change the tides of the battle anytime soon. But they're trying to go for Benny, and they might get the kill here. The Emerald win, the level 10 is there, and Sonya dies without the level 10 abilities in the hands of the Hardos. I think that would have been a team fight in favor of Go Next, but of course they cannot fight against the Storm talents here. It's just not working. The shots are connected, and that's 36 to 21 now. They need their level 10, maybe then they got a chance. Still very impressive to see what Cassia has been able to do. 40 stacks at the 8-minute mark is a very solid number. We already have 56 minutes into the game. But if you cannot control those bell towers, if you cannot get those altars, then all the stacking in the world isn't going to do anything for you. So, yeah, that is a problem. 21,000 damage also means that Cassia has easily the top damage in the game now. But as I said, that is just nothing if you can't win team fights. And now they got their level 10 though, and now we're talking. This is the moment where they really have to start to come back a little bit. That's, by the way, a bit of a sneaky move, trying to take this one down. Nearly worked for them as well. And Yasuo comes in and finishes it off. Monstrosity! Oh my god.
Nope.
That is... I mean, honestly, if there is a surrender button in the game, then that's probably it. Monstrosity, really? Have you learned nothing from the shitty NA games that we've seen with Monstrosity? That is never gonna work. So, Tyrell is down, and I mean, I don't really know what to say here. That's kind of taking the words out of my mouth, so thank you for that. But yeah, that is not working. Monstrosity has already been eliminated at the top lane, by the way. It took a Viking to take it down. So, I don't know what to say. Either way, 3 kills to 1, and there's the altars popping up. But yeah. I had some hopes here, but apparently for naught. Either way, now that they're going to the top, Gulnar is getting out for now, but the full control of the bot lane just continues. They're trying to go for Yasuo here. That didn't really work. And look at Chris. The BFG connects. The Sanctification is saving their ass for a little bit longer. And yep, it ain't working. I feel at this point Nick is just using his... no! That slug gets away. 3 shots fired. I honestly think that Chris is just like memeing his ult because he doesn't need it at all. He's just sitting there as like, hey, I want to press my R button at some point too. I'm going to try and take the slug down together with it. So yeah, there's that. Few more shots fired. We're down to 13 points against 36 now. They got the level 13 talent as well, and the next altar phase is going to spawn 2. So they can take 10 points off potentially, which would drop them down to 3. And of course, that technically could lead to a win if they just go for boss and take that one too. Or get another pumpkin camp connected. One or two things here. I mean, either way, right now, we currently have 24,000 on Sergeant Hammer. Sonya at the top is also likely going to fall. Even with the Abathur support, she's not able to make anything work. 29k for Cassia. Bot lane still, they're not able to retake. I've been talking about this a little bit earlier. If you have Sergeant Hammer in particular down there just zoning you out totally, then coming in and taking this is nearly impossible. If those pumpkins connect, by the way, the next objective could end the game. But of course they know that too, and they're trying their best to take them down as quickly as possible. Already have 2 destroyed, come in for the 3rd. 13 talents at least for Go Next are now ready, so that helps a little bit. But one pumpkin, no, gets destroyed. Oh, there's an attempt, and a kill! They get a kill. Tyrael is down, but so is Brightwing. The Vikings are channeling the altars, or are about to. Close quarter BFG to the face. Get wrecked, Lucio. Yeah, that was an easy one. Here's the shots fired, and that is 10, everybody. No, it's actually not. Top lane has been taken. Yeah, Monty has done at least a little bit of work up there with the earlier rotation of Sonya. So it's only 8 shots fired. That puts them down to 5. Still makes the situation pretty dangerous. But let's see what else they can do. Monty is on the move. Yeah, Monty the monstrosity. On the move right now. They don't really care, do they now? At the bottom of the map we have the next pumpkin camp taken. I don't really think that Blaze is going to move in for that one. Nope. Gets the Elite Ruins out for just a second, but not really eager to do anything here. Monty starting to move in. I try to play with the monstrosities. So far that hasn't really worked. The kill opportunity maybe against Starzerg. Monty at the front line, and Monty is gonna go down. Well, no, they actually save it. They save Monty for just a second, and then it dies anyways. Monstrosity is dead. Here come the Vikings. Abathur could come in for the slap, I suppose, but first we have Brightwing down, and that's a good kill, but Cassia has also been dropped. And they're getting pushed back again, especially now that level 16 talent is ready. That also gives us the siege damage. Sorry, the giant killer, not siege damage for them. Nice dodge on Galne Gulnar as the BMG comes through. But the situation is tricky anyways. The taunt! And Starzer gets murdered with another auto attack. Blade nearly dying too. They're trying to get the next few kills in. They're not able to make it work. Abathur has taken the top now. And it's a triple altar phase. So if 2 get taken by the Hardos, then this is a game, set, and match. Yeah, 43,000 damage now from Sergeant Hammer. Obviously, she's taking the top numbers at this point. That didn't come as a shock, even with the stacking that we're seeing from Cassia, especially after the giant killer got locked in. It's all going to be about the fight at the top right, and Lucio's already in trouble. Galne Gulnar, he's on the wrong side of this fight. No chance to escape here. He's dead. Lucio's down. And that should be it. Vikings are channeling the one in the middle already, and Hazu is getting this one locked in as well. This is game, everybody. Bam, down to a single point. The next salvo connects, and this is a 3-0 victory for the Hardos at this Heroes of the Storm match, the Masters Clash Tournament. GG, and well done.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.